Hi, okay, so I have had a snack. Now I have to paint in earnest. I was just thinking, probably you won't be able to do this portrait from this one lesson, but you can try a few times with this one or with your own to get a hang of how I go about it. I do teach portrait painting, or how to paint a portrait, and break it up into sections where I actually teach how to draw these lines and how to mix all the colors and painting the darks, medium lights and all that. But for now, you may as well see how I go about it, and you can try on your own and try with this one or try your own. Practice makes perfect, so as long as you get a sense of how to start or get a handle on the thing, you're way ahead of the game. Okay, so having taken a break, which is always a good idea, I have realized a few things, namely that there's a shadow here that I don't have. So I'm going to put that in. So it's always good to get away and then see. So I've mixed up that brown again, or a reasonable facsimile. A dark skin color anyway. It wouldn't be a bad idea if I added a little bit more red to that, so it approximated skin more. Yeah. So it's actually more darker in here, not light. And by this stage, you should be getting some sense of the modeling of the face, even though it might not be 100% right. At least should be going in and out a bit, like cheekbones out and nose out as opposed to in. And so I'm just adding some, gonna mix a lot of more of these darks that I missed the first time around. So, but you can see I actually saw through the camera lens that it was darker here than I saw with my own eye. There is a trick you can use. You can take a picture of your own photo, and then in your photo editor you can turn it into not black and white but into grayscale, which gives lots of gradations of light to dark, and then you can see how dark the darks are and how light the lights are. That's something else I teach separately, but that can give you a good idea. Just off, we're gonna fall. I've got a makeshift stool here. I'm cutting that in. See how that line comes in? Now her chin is actually a bit similar to mine, so it makes it easier. The more familiar you are with the person, the better you're gonna do. Because, like I said, you have a repository in your head of all these images of the person. If you know them, that will really come in handy when you're trying to, you'll know if you're on or not on when you're doing the painting, or else you won't know if it's a stranger, or if anything is typical, or just that one photo, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm trying to get these darks a little bit better than I first had them. I'm sitting closer now, which is very helpful for getting an idea. That chin may still be too long. Now to approach the mouth, the top lip is usually dark because it's undercut or cut back, so it often has its own shadow. So you can usually go ahead and paint that dark. So the edge of that is further than the edge of the nose. So I'm measuring down from the edge of the nose. It's just a little bit further, so yeah, about there. I don't know if it goes up so high. Yeah, it does. It doesn't go down so low. You're always measuring off everything else. And you can see that this dark goes right around here and here. Again, I can't tell if her mouth is open or closed. Either it's open and she's almost showing some teeth, or it's closed and she's kind of pursed-lipped. I really don't know. Even from knowing her, I can't quite tell. So in the one I did before, I sort of left it ambiguous. Could be either. Oh, I went too wide on there. So when I get the middle of this eye, I'll be able to measure the edge of this from the middle of the eye. Speaking of which, let's go to the eye and see if we can get that in a little bit better. And I don't really want to I know they're blue. I can sort of start with a bit of blue in there, but not crazy blue. The idea. She's not looking at me. She's looking that way. You guys are too close together. I'm gonna have to stand up and have a look. Yeah, maybe that's okay. This is the actual iris. Sort of trying to get and see if it's in the right place. Not too far off. I've got blue on the brush. Remember, acrylic dries quickly, so you may as well use up whatever you've got. When you have a color, you may as well use it. And that is a real case of use it or lose it, because it will dry up and become impossible. Now this background stuff is not as important as the face itself, so if you don't have time to get to that today, it's no big deal. Hard to wreck the background. There are a few pointers, but it's not that easy to wreck the background. Okay, I'm going to bring this forehead. Yeah, not sure. Let's do nose. We're going to measure eyebrow to, let's do the middle of the nose. No, middle of the eyebrows. Yeah, about there. Middle of the eyebrows to the bottom of the nose. Compared to forehead. Well, let's do it on here first. Okay. Forehead to the middle of the eyebrows is a lot further than eyebrows to the bottom of the nose. So eyebrows to the bottom of the nose, you can see, maybe you can see, I'm almost right down to the lips there. But the middle, yes, I'm right down to the lip. So from here to here should be the same as from here to here. Let's try it. No, it's not. So I can see something's not right. Let's try that again. And this time I'm going to go to here because I know that's in the right place. Okay. So here's from between the eyes where the narrowing of the nose is. To the top is this much. Okay, and then from the same spot below the mouth. So let's go from here to here. Should come is to here. Should go to below the mouth, which it does. Oh wait, I thought it was far off. I'm not far off. Thank goodness. Okay, so let's get some of the darks in the hair while we're here. Try and get that slant. Just realized I can't take forever on this. I can dawdle forever painting. Sometimes it's good to have a deadline because you'll work to the deadline and not be so careful. Which doesn't always make for the best paintings, honestly, to be honest. Sometimes the looser you are, the better. So whatever works. With the portrait in particular, it's so easy to get concerned with little details. And it's super best to go from large to small with the portrait. Oh, here I'm mixing up a darker brown. So I put some black in this time and red and yellow. So that's a darker brown already. I'll put a little more red. I have to say, it's so much fun when it starts, very frustrating when it doesn't look like the person, but so rewarding when it does. It's kind of an emotional roller coaster doing a portrait. But if you persist with acrylic, you can't really wreck it. So if you persist, you will eventually get it. Especially if you put coats in when you know you've got it right. If you put that coat in between, then between layers, then you won't wreck it. That is the worst, when you do have it right and then you wreck it. So just bringing this up because I know it's wider, because this space is not too far off, so I don't feel too hesitant about putting the hair around. Now I know the ear's in the right place. this way, but I haven't decided if it's the right distance. So we can measure that too. We're going to measure to the edge of the ear from the middle of the nose. From the middle of the nose is that much. And that's the same as, pretty much the same as from here to here. So from here to here should be, oh, it's the same, so it's pretty good. Okay. If it wasn't, I would just fix it. So, yes, if it wasn't, then I would move it accordingly. It's like, oh my goodness, it's out too far, well then move it in. So, the more things you get in here that you know are right, the more things you have to measure off, and then you tighten up and tighten up. Oh, this thing's gonna collapse on me again. Oh well. Don't sit on a stool like this at home. Take the whole painting down with you. So when you're doing hair, your brush stroke should go the direction that the hair is going. Like if that's a curl going that way, don't have your brush go across it. Go with the direction. It's hard to see in here, but I'm imagining that the hair is going this way. I think it is. Yeah, don't have it going opposite directions. It'll give it split ends, and I don't mean literally. I can't really, my memory says Aunt Peggy's hair was dark brown, but I'm not actually positive how dark it was. So if I was doing this for my cousin, I might have to say, ask her, was it this dark or was it this light? Her memory might be a bit flawed too, because of course it was gray for a long time. Okay. Now, how wide is this hair? So from here, from the edge of the nose, which we don't actually have, I could go a lot darker in here. So let's do that, edge of the nose. Now the eyes are the actual most important thing, so I'm kind of, you get an idea of the eye, but don't do it in good until the very end, because if you have to move that eye because it's in the wrong spot, and you've done a detailed one, oh, it's not a disaster, but it's a lot of work, so you don't want to have to do that. Especially if you get the eye right. So just getting the shape of the nose, it's all dark, medium, light, and then you can see how it sort of makes itself into 3D. Okay, I'm going to get that shadow on because I want to be able to measure from the edge of this nose to the cheekbone and see if mine's looking too wide actually. I want to see if it is or not. I'm going to go do darker in here while I'm at it, because I have a darker color. I can see that chin's too long. Up on the chin. Okay. Now, okay, edge of the nose, not the shadow, edge of the nose, hope you can see this, yeah, edge of the nose to the cheekbone is this. And what is that the same as? Let's try nose to mouth, point of the nose to the middle of the mouth. Okay, point of the nose to the middle of the mouth, it's that much, and that should be the same as from the edge of the nose to the cheekbone, which it's not. So I can see this is too wide. So first I'm going to move that eye over a bit, get that, where that height of that eye is. Inside too. And the bottom. Bring this in a bit. And I have to let that join the hair. And bring this in a bit too. Remember I had that nice curve, now I have to go over it again. Try and get it right, and it's not quite that. This is finicky. This line has to be right, and that's finicky. Okay, so I can bring some hair up from there. I think that's better. It might still be too wide, it will become evident if it is. Okay, chin is still a bit long. So I can either move it up this way or add light underneath. So I'm going to try going with the light underneath to see if that fixes it. Like move this light. Actually, that might not be a good plan because it's in such shadow, but on this side I can, like right here. But too light. blue. Try to use clean brushes. A case of, well, maybe that blue will fit in somehow. A case of do as I say and not as I do. When I get into the moment, I must say, let's try and blend that in a bit. Remember I said you can blend with your finger with acrylic. So. I've got this coming down too far. See, that comes out to the bottom of the lip, not way down there. We'll just get rid of it while it's still wet. And if it isn't still wet, I can paint over it. If I can't get it off, which I don't know, I might have to paint over it. You don't want to have to paint over stuff too much. Yeah. What a nuisance. Okay, so I do have to paint over it, and I didn't catch it in time. So I'll just do that. Yeah, that's better already. So this comes down to the edge of the mouth. So that's not 100% covering. Remember I said, if you have to paint light over dark, it doesn't cover as well. So this shape is right, but it needs to be in a bit. So we're gradually narrowing it down. Now this chin, the point of that chin is underneath here. So, about there. Now we have to get that white color on here. I'm just going to go with white. Across the bottom of the mouth. I hope you're not seeing glare, because I kind of am. I'd have to move the angle here a bit. Okay. That's okay. This sort of goes wider a little. Okay, we better go back to the eyes. This line is still not quite right. See, it's going out at an angle here, where I think it's more straight here. So I'm going to bring it in a bit, hope I'm right, tentatively, because this line is important. I don't want to wreck it. Hair can come down a bit further. Now I'm going to bring the whole thing in just a bit. It's pretty close to that eye. Not bad. Okay. Go darker here. My paint's drying up. Bane of acrylics. So I'm going to put where I think the pupil is. Might mean that I have the eyes down too low. Not sure if that's right. That one. This mouth is too wide. Far over. Okay, not bad. This one, not sure. I'm gonna go a bit. What color is that? So at least you're getting how I measure. No, that's too much. Okay, we better do the eyes and then fine-tuning the colors. Okay, so for the eyes, we already had them done skin color. I'm going to sketch in where, just a sec, I have to come back and have a look. It's looking pretty good. You're seeing it on a bit of an angle. I'm going to have to bring this in. see, but it's too wide here. It has to come in a little bit. But we are getting there. So, bring that in. Might mean I have to bring the ear in too. Oh well. But that's why I don't do it really in depth until I know where it's supposed to be. That is really the worst thing, having to move features once you've done such a beautiful job on them. So, darker. I might not have time to take this to its absolute conclusion, but I can go pretty far. So, okay, I'm just going to try to lightly indicate where these are. These brows are kind of, they're on the top of the skin. So the skin, the actual shape of the skin is more important initially than the actual brow. And the shadow here. And here. Oops, not there. Okay, not bad. This chin is too long here. You can see more things as you go. Okay, good. Sort of like that, and then up. That's good. I'm looking at the picture while I'm doing this. I'm sort of, this can come up almost the same spot. Nice. Now, where's that part? Bring that up a bit. And that dark bit up a bit. And this up a bit. I have to put that part in, but not yet, because this hair isn't quite high enough, I don't think. So I've got these sweeps. Remember, I'm doing the paintbrush going the same direction as the hair. I'll get back to those eyes in a sec. At least I sort of got where I think they might be. It's important. So I kind of paint the way a Polaroid, if you remember what a Polaroid was and how they developed. It was like an impression, then a shadow, then a ghost, then it started to flesh out, and then soft focus, and then more in focus, and finally clear. And that is a good way to approach, that's a good way to approach a portrait painting, so that you don't mess up irreparably. It's not the only way though. If you're more bold, go for it. But I tend to start out tentative and then get more bold as I am sure of myself, right? So, maybe a knife. All right, I'm okay with this hair. So, well, actually it comes up a bit here. Got that dark patch here, so. Quite dark all the way down here. Not too sure what's happening here, but we'll fill it in a bit. I might still be too wide here. There's a definite separation here between the face and the ear. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of the shadows around the eye, and then I'm going to put the whites of the eyes in to see if they're in the right place. So we're narrowing it. I'm going to switch brushes because this one, I don't want a dirty brush. My water, I should clean my water too. So I'm going to do that. If your water gets dirty, you have to clean it. I can see that this is down too far and I have to bring that up. So every time you go away and come back, you see things. So it's just the best idea to get up and away from it. Remind yourself, not as often as possible, but at decent intervals, so you don't, it's just so much easier to come back at it with a fresh eye. Yeah, that's better. Not so much there. Okay, so I'm just going to come in with the white for the whites of the eye, but not thick, so that the background color will show through. Now I'm not going to paint the whole white of the eye, the middle of the white of the eye, because only because it's brightest there, and then it gets shaded as it goes around the corner. So just paint the brightest part. See if it's in the right spot. I'm not sure. Anywhere I think. Now I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't sort of have an idea already of where that, oops, that's too far that way, of where that eye is, right? So you can't just paint in the middle of nowhere. You have to build a portrait. Might have her cross-eyed, so. That eye's not too bad. This one, I think the iris is too big or something. Not bad. Okay. Now while I'm here with this white, nose is sort of okay. Put those whites on a bit more. See those two white spots there without wrecking it. That's not, it's too light. Now, there's a line here, it's lighter, and here, going across the top of the lip here. Yeah. And then the lip has a dip, which I don't have, so I'm going to dip it. Come into that lip a bit, and then back up, and just sort of a bit of a smile. This light on the lip is important. That's right. Uh-oh, it just made her look sad, but that's okay, we can fix that. Facial expression is the last thing because it's the minutest of details that make it okay. I think this is too far over, so I'm gonna go right on top of that. I can paint the iris again. I think that's better. I don't know if those eyes are even or not. I'll have to come back and check. This could be a little pushed out. It's pretty bright right across here. Coming up there. Very bright right underneath that brow, which I still just have it lightly, which is wise, you will see. Okay, good. This comes right around the outside. It's not that you have to do it in this order, it's that you have to do it in the order that kind of you see something wrong, then you fix it, and you get tighter as you go. Okay, it's really bright here, and I don't have it really bright, so I'm going to come back in with more white. If it won't blend, just get in there with your finger. I'm going to move this middle of the nose over just a touch. And this white comes up right into the middle of the corner of the eye there. Oops, might have overdone that. Straight down and then out with the shadow. This is light in here. Well, not light, not dark. I'm gonna have to go in there. There. Yeah, that's okay. This has to go up. There's a light spot there. See that light spot? Put it in. This is higher. It doesn't come down that low. A shadow does, but not the actual. It's got to go higher there. It's not there. What's going on here? So I'm gonna have to go darker in the middle of that lip. But the second thing on the chin here, without having a cleft. Okay, I'm gonna go back on the eyes a bit more here. I better get back and have another look. This eye, I have to add that lid because I can't tell if it's too small or not without that lid. So that's again, if you get away from it and you come and you look, then oh yeah, you can see. So right away, I have to put this lid on. Oops, it's too blue. Still too blue. That's because my paint's drying. I don't know if you're going to be able to follow this, but at least you can try. See if you can. Now I'm going to come back and see. Oh, that blue. Dry paint. So you have to get good at mixing colors with acrylics because, like I said, or you can spritz a lot. They dry quickly, so then you just have to mix the same color. I don't mind because I do it all the time, but if you're having trouble with mixing colors, that could get to be tedious. However, that's the way to learn, is by doing it over and over and over. Well, I need some fresh colors, so just a minute. Okay, I have fresh colors on my palette, which is a frequent thing with acrylics. Now I was just working on that mouth when I ran out of color and had to start again. At least I think it was. So that's a reasonable approximation of the mouth color. Now she probably had bright red lipstick on, but I'll decide later if I want to do that. If I was going to put bright red lipstick on, I would wait until it was dry and put it on top of everything because and see-through, because otherwise, if I just put it on and cover everything I've done, I'll lose the structure. I'm going to put my glasses on at this stage. I'll lose the structure of the mouth, which I don't want to do because I've already put a ton of work into it. Well, a lot of hyper concentration, put it that way. So I'd make sure that I didn't lose the work that I had already done. I'm getting a glare. Annoying. I need a dry brush. So sometimes you can take paint off when your finger's not the right shape. Because I want that middle light to show. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna have to bring that dark over. That darker color, it's not quite dark enough, comes right over across the bottom there. so I'm gonna have to bring it across and hope I do it right. Not that low, about there. All right, I'm getting a glare again, so I can't tell. I'm gonna go back and shape those eyes a bit. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to. I'll check and see if you can still see this. Yeah, you can. I think that has to come in yet again, but I'm going to focus on the eyes and eyebrows right now. So they're kind of smudgy, which is not good. You need to have them be a bit clearer. Now, if I was at home, I might call it a day right now because it gets to the point where you're sort of chicken to go further. And that, sometimes it's a good point to call it a day and do that spray thing. But sometimes it's good to keep going while you're on it because you can completely lose what you're after by the next time you paint too. So it's a 50-50. Like if you go further, you can wreck the thing, which is heartbreaking. Or if you stop, you may never get it back again, sort of what your intention was. So I guess you'd have to get to know yourself and what worked for you. For me, it's pretty 50-50. That's not too bad. Okay, this dark's coming down here. Move an angle. That eyeball's too big. There's this dark line around the pupil, which I'm going to put in now. And her eye's more wide open than I have it. Just a hint of eyelash here. Oh, I hope I'm not doing this too soon. I don't want to do it too soon. I'll end up having to redo it. And a dark there. Dark there. Brush is being blobby. It's not nice of it. That shadow inside the eye, these kind of come together. Not there though. Down through. Okay, so she's got a shadow here. And she's got a shadow here. And here inside. And here inside. Yeah. I'll just pronounce it that, but there. Okay. And here. And going up here. Okay, not too bad. Bring that higher. I'm going to use my fingers. They have to be clean. Okay, I'm going to try and put this brow in a bit more. This one in a bit. I can almost just draw it now because everything is sort of in the right place. That's got to move in a bit. I'd have her a bit bubblegummy here. There, bring that in. Bring that out. There's a line down here. And under here. That comes in. And then goes out again. Covers more of the ear. Now this eye's not too bad. This eye. I'm gonna come in with more white in the whites. I need a small brush. Oh, there's one there. There's a small brush. See, we're narrowing in and narrowing in. We're getting it dirty. That. Okay, I want white. And again, if you use the white thinly enough, the undercolor will show through, which in this case is a good thing. So now to get to these detailed areas, I just realized I'm putting my finger down first so that it is grounded and supporting my hand with the other hand, which is supported by the frame. See? So that I'm not just floundering around up here. I've got, I don't want that moving either. I've got stability, because this is a detail, which is something I don't want to wreck. Okay, it's too much. I'm going to take it back just a speck. Still too much. So I can't get it back just a speck, so I'm going to have to go back in with the darker color. And then I can make them more blue after. I'd have to move that pupil over just a bit. Yeah, and then I'm going to cover okay, not bad. See how this comes up there? I got a finger got stuck. So bring that up. Now, there's lights in the eyes. 1, 2, I think 3, 4. I'm going to put those in, see if that makes a difference. I'm still not sure if this is too wide here. I think it is. I think she's not quite that cheekbony. Let's bring that in just a touch. You have to make that become part of the hair. I'm going to have to make that whiter. But meantime, ugh, I got a blob on here. Cannot paint with a blob on my brush. Does help. Cut that in a bit. On the other side, I have to go up here. This has to be a little more defined here. And then light and light. Not too pronounced, so yes. Just rubbed it out. I'll have to redefine that in a sec. This is too much, just a bit too much here. Too much what? I don't know. Too much eye. That's not bad. It's kind of her facial expression too. Okay, that eye is looking all right. Notice the mouth corner is too high. There's still, I'd say, another hour of work on this. I still have to get everything sort of finally in the right place with the lights, mediums, and darks. And then I have to come at it with some local color, like the blue in the eyes, and maybe some pink in the cheeks, and maybe some reflected color from somewhere. I might have to bring that shoulder down a bit. Okay, first I have to make these eyes match. That's paramount. So, and this one's got a lot of mud in it too. Once again, I'm bracing my hand to get this right. And I think maybe, bring that over just a bit. Maybe not. Now I think I made it cross-eyed. Yes, I'm gonna bring that back out. I think maybe it's not quite like the photo, but I better go with the painting at this stage. So, this eye has to match the other eye, and the other eye is not looking too bad. And in fact, this one wasn't looking too bad until I just got in there. And hopefully didn't ruin it. You never know. This is why it's a bit of a nerve-wracking thing. Okay, so I'm going to come in. Make sure I got a good color in there. Not really. There. Come in. That's kind of better. Better. Now here, one kind of brush I like to use is this kind of brush because they supposedly come to a point here. Now this brush is starting to get wrecked, and you can see I won't be able to use it for this because I want it to come to a point. So ideally, I have paint all over myself, it should come to a point here and not separate out. So when they do, then they're perfect for detail. And they do until they get used and not cleaned properly a few times, and then you're kind of sunk. Okay. I was trying to do that inner line there. I'm going to put a bit of light in Aunt Peggy's eye there too. Move that up. Yes. Okay. Oh, I hope I'm able to get her while we're still videoing this, because sometimes it can take a lot of futzing. Sometimes portraits you get it right off the bat. Sometimes it's a lot of work. This has to go higher. There. Okay, that's getting there. We're not there, but that's getting there. Huh. See something that's wrong here. Now I'm trying to fine tune it. I hope this isn't the most boring video in the world, because you're just watching me as opposed to me showing you what to do step by step. But it's an intro. I like to give you something to do and then come back, but this is hard. It's hard to do it with this. I'm going to go in here darker with that. Yeah, I guess all you're going to get out of this is the process of painting a portrait. Not that I do teach it step by step, but it does require, each step requires quite a bit. I don't think I like that blob here. Get rid of it. Yeah, coming closer with that was right. I hope I don't wreck it here, because that's a delicate thing. I might even get rid of that shadow altogether, because it's sort of interfering with things. Hope you can hear me. Sort of. Doesn't have an extra wide nose. I'm going to put a white down here. Now I've made her look like she's got a very wide nose. This won't do. Didn't. Okay, so I'll bring this shadow, rid of it by painting see-through white over top. Move it in a bit. Like a little shadow is okay, but this was too much. Oh, I don't have the nostrils in yet either. That's better. Okay, nostrils I'm going to have to put in. And move this up and in a bit too. Yeah, that's inside her nose bit. Now, okay, so we have better. take that paint off, which is nice. I think I brought that hairline in already, but now I'm taking it back out. I'll go back a bit further. That ear is not quite right, but that's not that big a deal. One last thing, and then I'm going to call it a day for today, and then leave it. And then tomorrow, I might have another idea about it. But today, it's like, okay, done pretty well. I've got her eyes a little more doughy, like dough a deer, than they are, but that's where the real tweaking comes in, is trying to make them hers. And that looks kind of dirty here too, so. This isn't quite right, it's still too wide. One more thing in this eye, and then I'm gonna go back and see if I should take that side of the face in, and then I really am gonna call it a day. So I'm making up that darker skin color again. Bringing this over to here. Down there. That's better. Okay. No. Better. It's better too. Good. Here. To you. There. Okay, that is pretty much totally enough for one day. Be careful. That's the right line, but the wrong color. So, I have to darken that. I'm doing the right thing, but it's just not the right color there. Can't be that red. That mouth is close, but not quite. I know that's the case. Let's have a look. Sorry. It's close, but I need one more episode of tweaking it to make it into her. Okay, stay tuned. There's the so far product. So it's not 100% yet, but it's not bad. This is a point where I would stop and put a coating on it so that I don't mess up. The eyes don't quite match. And the other thing is I need to put her personality into it, which at this point it's not there. So maybe sometime over the next few weeks I'll do one more quick touch-up. I do need to take a break from it though. If you paint when you're tired, you'll for sure mess up, or if you think you're in a hurry. So I like it so far. It's not 100%. It's a person. It's close to Aunt Peggy. It's not 100% Aunt Peggy. It's here. You can see she's a bit cocky. And more strident than mine's a bit milquetoast. So I do have to fix that up, and I will, and stay tuned. Okay, bye.